Ugh. So. Hello.
Hello. There we go.
Found the mic.
It's always a freaking challenge. I have more than one thing, and it's like it just gets stupid hard. Let's see if I can actually do that. All right, just a few last-minute preparations here. For instance, why is this not the right size? Here we go. Change background. I'm gonna make sure that everybody can see everything this way. Oh, it's the wrong. That's weird. Oh, weird. It did not fix itself. Oh, this is going to take a minute. We are going to actually go through the process of installing the guest editions on this virtual machine because the virtual machine is misbehaving. There we go. That'll just take a minute. Welcome all 2 users checking out the stream today. Going to be covering a lot of stuff today. To kick off, I will throw this up here and pitch it like I always do. I'm not paid by these authors or anything. This is just the book that I chose because after looking at a lot of Go books, this is basically your top choice in many ways to get started with Go, by Donovan and Kernighan. Great book. You can pick it up at, I don't know, wherever you buy books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, something like that. It's pretty easy to get a hold of. And today, I'm going to be digging into, chapters, chapters 3 on basic types, but also chapters 4 on composite types. We're going to be looking at a lot of stuff, slicing, dicing with slices and arrays, and basically specific pedantic details of that. A lot less IDE tweaking and work with those things, and a lot more language this session. As soon as this thing is done, of course. Did we get all set up here? Can we now go to a decent resolution, please? Maybe so. I don't really want updates. There we go. So that should, yeah, beautiful. Now things look the way they should look. I just said we won't be talking about IDEs that much today, and I already need to do an update. So we're going to do an update, and then I'm also going to turn this blinding window off, because this is killing me. Toolbar window. How did that change this last time? Tools. Material theme composer. Let's go with, let's try the Monokai theme. And then we're going to restart too, for whatever that other thing was. And eject our guest additions. There we go. So we're closing some things real quick, and then we're going to get in here. One more quick experiment. Did that? Oh yeah, it did. All right, let me fix that view for you real quick. So I just goofed up the stupid window. There we go. Okay. Much better. Well, now I gotta do the other bloody window. There we go. All right, cool. So first things first, let's, we got our hello world here. We're gonna start a new Go project though. And that's it. We're using 1.11.4 still. No real need to upgrade here. Let's, source, we don't want to put it there, we want to put it in our directory here, under Adrian, I'll add it here. And then let's go look at the last session, started a repo, put some good stuff in it, so let's go check out what's in it. What did I call it? Adrian, repositories, Twits Learning Go episode 2. That's what I call it. Okay, we'll just call it Learning Go episode 3 then. Right? Sounds reasonable. on that build is failing. Run there. Learn to go episode 3. Whoops. Create this window. Now there's a few things that I'm going to end up doing. We'll get started with some code first. But I'll set up CI for this just like the other one. I like to have builds of stuff. We'll play around with that in a little bit. But right now, let's just get us a main. There we go. All right. And also, let's go ahead and get a gitignore file in there. And there we go. So we have that. Now, first topic of the day. I'm going to actually get you a more full-size screen of everything. There we go. Oops. Always something. That last minute detail. There we go. So now you got even more full-size screen. And the first thing we're going to tackle actually is some basic data type stuff. We talked about in previous sessions a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to cover a lot of those really quick right now. So one of the things that we routinely have, let's get our package main, and then our func main. Oh, we're in the gitignore. No wonder we don't need that yet. Oh, there we go. We already have main func, thanks to Goland. An integer. What is an integer, right? So we have var some int, right? That's one way to declare it. We could say var another value. Whoops. Value int 64. Okay, and we could also say this value equals 45, right? Could also do it tuple-like. Could say this value, that value, some value, and then do 45, 15, or 23, and then 15, right? And we just have to print them all out. We can do that simply using a print format, printf, and then let's say the values. I did not get my string going. There we go. And then we'll say, let's see here, I think it's zd. I'm already forgetting my formatters. So we got 3, and then we got fourth one, and this one. So we'll say this value, this, oops, I got a goofy one in there. Case sensitivity is important, that value, and some value, right? And then let's assign some int. We'd have to do that assignment post facto since we assigned, or we just created those variables, assigned their data type, and then went on, right? So we'll say some int equals, we can do this value, and then we can say another value equals some value. Okay. Now those two, of course, aren't used yet, so they're still underlined. What does this say? Some value as 64 or something. Ah, so there we have the first thing that I want to talk about. So print format. And we'll say other values just to get them shown up somewhere. And we'll say some int, and then another value. Okay, so they're used somewhere, everywhere. Ah, here we go. It says type string as typewriter does not implement. What did I do? Oh, I hit F. Just want print F. There we go. So now we also want to the point here. We have an int and an int64, and an int is being assigned to an int64, so we want to convert that, right? The question is how do we convert it? So I believe it's int golang int to int64. Let's see, I believe the yeah, so the way we would do this in this particular situation, some value is going to go into parentheses like this. And then we'll put the actual value we're forcing it into. Because they're both int values, we can do this. We'll do this. So that forces another var type to take the smaller int value, convert it to int64, and put it into another value. So we have an assignment there. Now that's all fine and dandy. But let's talk about int64s for a second. Let's see here. int64 gives us a range, right? Big old range. I'm trying to, was it 64 bazillion? Actually, let's get back to that because I got some other cool tricks to show you in relation to that. Yeah, that'll cascade in at some other points in this, so that'll be good. So the next thing we want to look at, actually, is the mouse falling on the ground. Okay, got it. Okay, so we got various things we can do with these ints too once we have them. Let's actually create a func. Getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but do things. Right? And we're going to pass it value 1, it's going to be an int, and value 2, which will also be an int. And then we'll have a function body, and we'll also return an int. Actually, let's return an int64. So here, let's just say return value 1 plus, actually let's multiply it, value 2. Okay. Then let's create another function and call it do more things. Value 1. That's going to be an int. Value 2 is going to be an int. And then we'll return an int 64 again. Actually, let's return a string. And let's add name and make it a string. There we go. So in here, we're going to say result is equal value 2 plus value 1 times, let's say 10. And then we're going to return the result. Result exponentially is this. Added and exponentially multiplied is this. And then we'll put in bound string. Oops. And then the way we have to do it here, because we don't have a formatter, right? So we'll want to do plus to concatenate it to the string. Let's say result. There you go. What is this saying? Oh yeah, because I put in a formatter like I was going to format it. Oops. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So that's just going to concatenate it onto the string and return that. Result added and exponentially multiplied is this result plus result mismatched type string. Same thing here. We can use a built-in function called string convert dot let's see here, int something to forgot what it is. Number to string. Let's look it up real quick. Golang string convert int to string. Int to string is it OA. Go and its beautifully weird naming conventions. There we go. We can pass in the string now, or the int, I mean, which is the result. And there we go. So now we can say up here, format.Printf. Let's talk about this for a second. So in the first function here, let's type in 64. Type in okay. So here we're going to need to do this int 64 again and convert these since we need a returned int 64 value. So let's make it easier. We'll do 1. We'll do result equals value 1, or actually is equals value 1 and then value 2, right? And then we can just return and do one conversion, result, like that. Now the thing you got to note is if you do this, but this result is larger than an int, there's going to be a problem, right? Because you've got two ints multiplying together. There's nothing that would make it force itself into an int64 by itself. It doesn't change into an int64 until we return the result. So if we were expecting these two things to have a result that was going to be a big value that would be an int64, you'd want to convert these beforehand to do the calculation. But since I'm just going to pass in some smaller numbers, this isn't that big of a deal. So let's do format print. We'll use this as a call out to function do things. And then we'll have the result. Still don't remember if D is the right thing. We will find out very shortly. And then do things. We're going to call it, and then we're going to pass it this value. And let's do the other this value where I messed up the casing. There we go. So that'll give us the result for that. And then let's do another one for the second function. And we'll say function do more things. And then we'll pass in, let's use some int. And then another value, and then I'll pass in my name, Adrian. Oh yeah, and I didn't actually use that. The result added and exponentially multiplied for you. This would be name. There we go. There we go. Now we got it all concatenated together, right? So let's set up a build. But before that, let's refresh the way that everyone should know how to use Go and do an actual Go build at the terminal. Alright, cool. We got to Go build. Now we can take a look at that. We have a learning Go episode 3 executable, and I'm going to run that. What do we get here? Oh yeah, so it's not D. Let's look up formatters real quick. Golang formatter verbs. Okay, we know that these are called verbs per the last session. It's a little easier to search for them now. But here we go. We want to look up int. Printing version. Oh, let's just find integer. Integer. I feel like I'm the president trying to spell stuff. Oh, is it 6D? When formatting numbers, you will often want to control the width and precision of the resulting figure. To specify the width of an integer, use a number after the percent in the verb. By default, the result will be right justified and padded with spaces. Do I want to do that with integers? You can also specify the width of printed floats, though usually you'll also want to restrict the decimal precision at the same time with the width precision syntax. Noted. So I guess, let's hear, I am right with D, but I need to put some precision in there. So we'll go with 6. That'll be fun, right? 6. Because none of these numbers are that big. Should work out great. Oh yeah, let's put in some new lines here. Yeah, there we go. And then there's another one. That should get us done there. All right, let's build that. Here, build. Learning episode 3. What do we get? All right, values 45, 45, 23, and 60. Why is that? So some value is 15. This value and this value with the uppercase is, oh yeah, they're both 45. Actually, let's change that number since I made the other goofy one the same value. There we go. So that's this value and this value. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then this one, 6D and 6D. But why did it just print out 6D? Did I not pass the value? I have some value. Some value should be 15. I feel like something's escaping me here. Anybody see what the issue is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Other values, 20 and 15. Let's go ahead and add 4, 60, 60. Oh, is it because, well, no, it should be some value, and that value, and this value, and this value. 1, 2, 3, 4 values. Int 15. So it says int 15, it's just not doing the formatting. So let's do this. Let's do some crazy stuff. We'll do string convert. What is it? Int to alpha, and then we'll pass in some value. See what that gives us. And we'll just pass this as string, so you can see. Oh, I see what I did. I put a stupid $sign. That's the problem. So we're still going to go with string. So we'll convert that value and change it into a string, and it should print it out fine. So let's build. And let's run that one again. There we go, and 15. So if we do that and we convert these values to a string, you'll see it formats perfectly and takes out all this white space stuff. But if you want things formatted like in a column, a specific row or whatnot, then this is the way to manage that, getting in and out. Yeah, good call. Spec silence, Sean. Spec silent, Sean. Your S's merged on my hazy Saturday morning vision. Time for plenty of coffee, I guess. So yeah, that worked. Cool. In my defense also, I'm on a 4K screen, and this thing takes up like this much of the screen. It's kind of funny. So I'm just looking at this itty bitty little thing in the middle of the screen. I did realize on the VM though, I can magnify it, makes it a little bit bigger, but I don't want to resize it in OBS again because I'm being lazy. All right, so that covers those things pretty good. Do more things. Oh, I passed these. Oh, I'm being super dopey today. So this actually needs to be S, and we want to pass these things into the function. What was I even thinking? So do more things. Pass all that stuff in. There we go. Oh, is this another value? Oh, it's an int 64. So let's see what happens. We're going to try to convert this in place, okay? But we'll learn what occurs. Let's go to, actually, I'm done with this. We recall from previous sessions, Goland has a cool build feature, so I'm going to set it up. Go build, select a package, so that we build the whole thing. And then I don't have any parameters to pass to it, so, or no environment variables here, or no program arguments to pass to it. I just want it to execute the thing. So that now gives me the ability to run and debug using Goland's debugger. Let's give it a better name though. Run, build, and run. There we go. All right, so now I can run it whimsically without having to go through all that typing. There we go. Everything's running, spits out in the right place, etc. Now let's get a number into there though that'll break on this. Another value. Let's see, another value. How big? Some value. I don't want to do that. We'll just assign it here. We've looked at enough type changes and such. Let's see, 64,987, 654, 25. So I'm gonna leave a little comment here and actually make it more readable for myself. So we have 6,498,765,425. See what we get there. Or if we even just blow up something. No, it looks good. So let's make it a little bit bigger. We'll add stuff until we break something, or break formatting. Oh, look at there. See? We have now lost a 0. Looks like we lost more than a 0. It looks like we got, what, 6... 4... Yeah, like, what did it do? Changed the value a little bit. So, as you can see, when doing conversions like this, we're going to end up with broken stuff. So let's add another bunch here. So yeah, instead of 425, it bounced it up to 200. That seems like a weird number to bounce it up to. But there, let's see if we get a freak out here. Yeah, that was actually not what I expected it to do. But I wasn't really sure what it would do when it breaks. I tend to write the code so that it'll work right when it runs. But that's interesting. As it gets bigger, it does attempt to do a calculation, but it's getting messed up, as you can see. So that's one of the things you have to be careful about when you're converting back and forth between int and 64 and all that kind of jazz. All right, let's see here. Got some other cool stuff on it now. Right, there's some floats. Let's talk about some float math here. So we got all that, that's fine and dandy. I'm gonna put this down to a more equitable size. Let's do 64. But now let's add some more variables. Let's say we'll add a constant. This is another thing we talked about previously that I want to cover real quick. Constant is just something you set at time of, and it becomes a constant throughout the system. Usually you do this with something like boiling for Fahrenheit, which is what we did previously. Something that just, in the world, it generally is not changing. It's something that's known to be set at a particular value. So this one, I'm just going to say constant known set. And give it, let's say 7.12904. And we'll have constant another known, and we'll set it at 9.1034, whatever. Right? There we go. Got two of them now. And then let's see here. What shall we do? Let's do a loop on them. For x equals 0, just a standard for loop stepping through an enumeration or iterating through a value a certain amount of time. Let's go with 10, and then we'll say x plus, and boom. All right. Now let's print that out, and we'll say x is equal to this. And then we'll do some, looking at an example here. This is on page 57 if you're wondering. I'm just kind of tweaking it a little bit. It was 8.3. Function new line. That. And x. Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know how to make. In the book, they have the power to x for e, but I don't actually know how to add that character-wise. I'm going to look at that in just a second. Then let's do math. Exponential float 64. And we're going to put in x. And then we're also going to print out those other ones. So known set and another known, like that. And let's do x d and x d. Oh, whoops. Let's set 5, 6. Let's do 7 here and 7 there. And now we'll have known set and another. Oops. There we go. Let's see where this gets us. There we go. So that prints out the powers of E with 3 decimal digits. As you can see, that's where that 8.3 F is for floating point. Oh, we actually need to fix that for here. And I should change, let's actually change this to 2 point that, and then 2 point. So basically that's, if you look at that, you got eight numbers on one side, dot, 3 points on the right side of the dot, right? That's what you're giving when you pass that into that formatted verb. And here, as it grows, you can see more ends up over here than on the right-hand side. But we always have 3 rounded accordingly on the right-hand side. So as it grows, let's say we want to go up to, let's go 20. Let's see how crazy we get. It's probably going to blow something up. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it gets way big over here. And with 8.3, we're at about our limit right there, right? So it starts to grow. It looks like it went 1 past 8. So even though in the book it shows that wouldn't be a dilemma, it's obviously growing at that point, past what our limit set is. Which I guess as long as it doesn't cause a panic, no biggie, right? We can deal with that. But one more example of dealing with floats, constants, formatters, and the verbs that lay out all that stuff. Now there's another program I definitely want to build here. Let's do some git clear, git branch. What are we on? Ah, that's right, we didn't even initialize this one. So let's git init, git status, and then in the gitignore file, we need to add .ida, we need to add the executable, and that'll work for us. Let's go out though and grab a more robust git file. So twits, yeah, twits will be more robust. Yeah, I want to take vendor just in case, and all of this other jazz. So that'll keep the repo clean when we push this stuff up. And if you want to pull it down on Windows or Mac OS, whatever you want to run it on, it's all fine. It looks like we already got that. Store, of course, will keep your Mac files out of the repo. And let's get that set up. Git status, git add.gitignore. First commit. Boom. Okay. And then I want to add all the rest, which is just the main file, really. Adding first code. Then let's look at our branches. Git branch, we just have master. So let's add another branch and we'll call it first code or whatever for today. Git branch, first code samples. Or no, let's give it a better name. Let's say int constant float examples. There we go. And git checkout int const float examples. There we go. And then git status real quick. So it just has what was in main. I'm going to get and push that up to, oh, we don't have origin yet. So let's do a look at remotes and then add that remote point. So if I bounce back out here, go to GitHub. And let's create a new repo called learning, what do we call it already? Learning Go episode 3. Learning Go episode 3. Learning Go Twitch stream episode 3. And that way it'll map nicely. So create the repo. There we go. So I want this. Go back in, git remote add origin. I've done this once before in previous repos, so this will start looking familiar as we go through it more. So now when I do a remote V to look at the available remote points, there's our repo. Now git push origin, and I'm going to push the branch name int constant float examples. Oh yeah, please do that. So, do I not have my key set up? Alright, maybe I need to fix that. Can't believe I don't have this key in here already though. I think maybe I rolled back on my VM a little too far. Run machine go, use last week. Repo machine A. That's what this one's supposed to be. Actually, that's what this one's supposed to be. So I guess this machine is not using that freaking key. So I'm going to kill that one. I'm going to add a new SSH key. And SSH key gen-c. What is the syntax? Always forget what the damn syntax is there. Oh, bear with me here, fighting through some twitchy stuff. There, fixed it. And scroll down. Keygen. O-T RSA, that's what I missed. Code.com. There we go. And yeah, I should do this on stream, but you know what? I'm going to change it in 5 minutes anyway, like I normally do. What is this? Wait, it's probably... Nope, that wasn't it. That's probably not it. Oh, that was it. So there we go. Now we got our GitHub key. And all three of you out there, yeah, all four of you can now hack my account for a few minutes, but please don't. I have all types of good stuff like that on my blog, though. Comes in handy. So let's see, back to my repo. And then, where'd it go? There it is. Learning Go episode 3. We're going to do some tweaky stuff to this, too, as soon as I push it up. I don't want to use this. Go back to my IDE. There we go. All right. So let's try that again. There we go. All right, so now out in this repo, it should have master, and it should have, well, it should have the branch, right? It doesn't have a master right now. But that's cool. That's cool. What I am going to do, however, is show you more tweaks on how to do GitHub. So we're going to do git checkout master. And here I'm going to actually remove main.go. And I'm going to create a README file. It's here. Go examples for episode 3. There we go. Oops. Branches. And then in here, I'll actually set that up. This, and then we'll have a list of the different branches. So our first branch was, let's see here, int const float examples. This code shows examples of integers, floats, casting between the types, formatters for print, formatter verbs for print, to console, and other basic calculations. So there's our first branch. Now our next branch is going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be some floating point number, floating point examples. So let's make that get branch floating point examples, just like that. Now when we look at the branches, we have that one we can move into. It's just local so far. It's floating point examples. Now just for some Git 101, the branches there are color coded. I did get branch dash A. Get branch dash A lists all local and remote branches. The red one is color coded accordingly to it being a remote branch now. And also you see the remote / origin / whatever. The two white ones are color coded according to them being local only branches. And then of course master is a default that's just there. So since we're on default, actually we moved out of default, so let's however get push, actually let's see. Yeah, we have the readme, so let's go get checkout master. And we want to, in here, main is deleted, readme is added, so we want to add those changes. So get add dash capital A, we'll get all of them. And get commit. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Get commit. Adding documentation. So a good thing to note when you are coding, especially in any production type projects, you should write documentation as you go. In my humble opinion, I don't even care if you write comments in the code, but write documentation. Write what you're doing. You will write better code if you write documentation while you go, or even write documentation first. It's almost like doing paired programming, TDD or BDD style. It lights up those additional pieces of the brain. They're going to help you think through the problems better. So it's something you always want to do if possible. All right, so we have that one up there now, and if we go look at the GitHub repo, boom, that should be the same, but we should have, oh, I didn't actually push it to master. So let's get push origin master. Okay, so that'll be up on GitHub now with that little bit of documentation. Tells what our branches is. Cool story. I don't want to do a PR right now. And also pull requests, since I'm doing an example per branch. And because I'm doing an example per branch, we don't actually want to merge or pull requests back into master, because then it would just have a munge of all of the different things that we're working on. It'll be a mess. But each branch will have a respective example that you can then check out. Or if you pull the whole repo, you can have all of it, and you can move between each of those as you check out the examples. So let's see here, we got that in there. So then let's move back to that other branch. Get checkout floating point examples. There we go. All right. Now, this is where I'm going to wipe out this code and get some new stuff in here. All right. We need some constants. We're going to assign them in a new way that I haven't shown before. Like this. I'm going to do width, height, and set it to 600 and 320. If you have the book I mentioned before, great book to follow along with. This is the book. Donovan and Kernigan. If you just joined and you have this book, you can follow along. The example I'm working through right now is on page 59. It does a cool little graphics thing. We're going to actually create, I believe it creates an SVG out of this. So it's going to be a pretty trippy thing to see. But it's some of the awesome graphical things Go can do. It feels weird saying that because Go is really not focused around doing graphics anything. It's for systems manipulation, systems maintenance, and operations and things like that. That's the focus point. But it can do some graphical stuff. It can render and generate an SVG. An SVG is, after all, just a file, just like anything else. So, bit more coffee. Stumptown cup, super awesome. Don't know how that coffee is anymore, but the cups are awesome. All right, so we got this. We'll start with the width and height, which is going to be the canvas size in pixels. Then we're going to add some cells. Set that to 100. That's the number of grid cells. Then XY range, 30. That's going to be the axis ranges. Then we're going to do an XY scale. This is going to be width divided by 2 divided by XY range. You right? Yep, okay. And then Z scale. It's going to be the height times 0.4. That's the pixels per Z unit. The XY scale is the pixels per X or Y unit. And then we're going to do angle, not angel, angle. There we go. Math.pi divided by 6. And yes, this is where we're going to do some things where you get to see why math is fucking awesome. That's just the plain, honest way to say it. All right, now that we have those constants laid out, we can get into some other jazz. So before even get into here, I want to actually call out a func. I'm going to do corner, and then I, J, int. Another way to declare multiple parameters if they're the same type is you just put the two parameter variable names and then the type. And then we're going to have float 64 and float 64. What did I say? It looked like it said 642. What's 642? I don't even know what that is. There we go. And then extra characters in my code that I don't need. We're going to find XY point at the corner of a cell. So we want to do XY range times float 64 I divided by cells minus 0.5. It's going to give us that one, and then y is basically XY range times basically the same thing, but with J. Right? Yep. J. There we go. Okay, and then we want to do compute the surface height. We do Z. F. Y. Go in to the right. Whatever. There we go. And then we need to figure out now the isometrically how it's going to be projected onto the SVG. So SX equals width divided by 2 plus X plus Y times cosine 30 times XY scale Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then sy is equal to height divided by 2 plus x plus y times sine 30 xy scale minus z scale, and then return sx sy as such. What's that fussing about? Not enough arguments to return. Oh, I added too many up here. I don't need that many. There we go. Okay, so that should work. And then let's do f as a breakout function here. F. And don't worry, we're gonna talk through this code some once I get it written here. Just need to write it while I'm thinking it through. Float 64. And notice too some of the pedantic details. If it's a single return value, float 64 here, it's fine without parentheses. But if you do multiple, you need to put parentheses and commas in sometimes, depending on how they're declared. And like the other thing, I can do that in some scenarios, and I've seen it work. So the compiler is a little funny like that. But I tend to stick to this where I have parentheses on both the parameters and the return values. Keeps things a little bit better, easier to read, etc. They're grouped, you know, and you can visually see them grouped. So now we're going to do hypotenuse x, y, and then we're going to return math sine. Ooh, where'd it go? Oh yeah, sine r. Okay, here we go. A little slow there. I was wondering why it didn't detect my R. Did I type the wrong type of R? All right, now that we have the functions, we can flesh out what we're doing here. So format, let's print out what we need for this SVG, right? So I need this to be SVG XMLNS. This is basically the header tags for the SVG file. w3.w3.org/2000 SVG. I think that is the correct one. Yep, looks like it. Okay, and then we want to add, let's go down here, style equals stroke, not strike, stroke, gray, fill, white. Make sure the CSS is right? Good old CSS. Stroke, width, 0.7. There we go. And then close that one. Get down to the next. Width equals %D. And width. There we go. Width and height. Yeah. It's fussing about too many arguments for format string. Expected. Oh, where was the other one supposed to be at? Width. Oh, I just didn't add height. Derp. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Go compiler, for fussing at me about that dumb stuff. Or I should say Goland with the Go compiler. Ah. All right, now we need a loop, for loop, to manage this situation. We're going to start off at 0, and then we are going to go through cells, iterating. Get that right? Yeah, J is going to be cells. Okay. Then AX, AY, corner I plus 1. BX, BY, corner I plus 1, and then J. Gonna be amazed if this all works perfect the first time I run it. I feel like I'm fat fingering something. Okay. CX, CY, corner J plus 1. If you've seen this before and you know how this works, you can kind of see the the math of the circular nature of this forming. And then let's see here. Actually, this is CS, not CS, CX, because it's an XY. So XY, XY, XY. Got that right. Okay, and then DX, DY. And that's going to be corner I plus 1, J plus 1. And format print F. Keep hitting that damn key. This doesn't even need to be here. We can go back to that in a minute. There. And we're going to do polygon points. AX, AY, BX, BY, CX, CY, CX, CY, and then DX, DY, right? Yeah, okay. And then outside of the for loop, we should get a format.Print line. Let's just do the line. There we go. And then we'll end it with SVG. Closing tag. So we got SVG opening tag, closing tag, width and height specified. Except I don't have it spelled right. How did I do? Oh, I just spelled it wrong, period. Let's use that refactoring tool. Refactor, rename. And let's spell height correctly. Boom. All right. Fix that. Oh, and look, the Go formatter executed and lined up our spacing here very nicely, which is nice. I like it when it cleans up my code that way. Pretty slick. And how have I missed Y scale? Y range, YX scale. There we go. Y scale. That should be this value. What am I? Oh, damn it. Another refactor scenario. Let's refactor that real quick. Rename XY scale. Not the XY scale, XY scale. And then this was going to be Z scale, that's right, and angle, sine 30, sine X 30. Oh, I see what I missed. There we go. So we also need, well, before I finish that, add that logic, let's, is this in there right? So we need to put in this formatter verb string of percent G, %G, and then %G, and %G, and %G. So there's four pairs altogether. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4. I hope everybody else sees 4. And then those should map into that accordingly with the formatter verbs. So then, okay, I didn't write the function for sine and cosine. Math.sine angle, there we go. And then math.cosine, yeah, okay. I didn't do the casing right. Right, yeah, cosine angle. And then this one didn't do right either. Sine, there we go. Cosine. And yep, okay, now we got sine and cosine. I was wondering why that was still shadowed out. I thought I had already written that function in my head. I guess I did, but not in the code. So I think we got everything. Theoretically, we should run it. And stuff should happen. Undefined J. 25. 15. All right, debugging time. 20. Oh, what did I do? J. Why am I using J there? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh, I didn't nest it right. So we need the nest in the nest. For J equals 0. J is less than cells. Yeah, there we go. So that'll map us appropriately into the square, the circular bits we're trying to make. Right? Okay, that and this needs to be I. Totally fat fingered that one. So there we go. Run that. So we go. All right, there's the math. So now if we take this, oh, I ain't taking that. Let's be smart. So this is huge, right? It is freaking huge. So let's take it and modify the book example. So what this is doing is it's actually going to give us this cool plot, okay? I.e. that. I think you can see it. Not entirely sure because I'm not looking at the screen. So anyway, that's what we're getting, okay? Pretty cool bit of stuff. And it's spitting out the SVG content. So technically, we could just copy and paste that. But let's go one step further and actually forget this print nonsense, right? Let's actually use a string and put this sucker together where it becomes the file, and then we write the file, okay? So let's see, we start with format print, but let's say, here we go. Start with var output string. Actually, let's call it output result. Unless y'all have a name that you want to give it. If y'all have a name to give it, I will assign it that name. Yeah. Let's see. I think I can bump it up, Bobby. Emphasis on think. I always forget how this bloody thing works. Okay, we're fixing font sizes real quick, everybody. So bear with me. First things first. I'm going to do 150 here. And then, where is settings? And then editor, font. Make it bigger here, I think. Let's go with 14. I don't know what the hell I just did. Why is this always so... This is one of the things that frustrates me in Goland pretty heavily. Cold folding, console, no, on a map, general. Let's just go with 18. What's 180? Just 18. Is 18 look better for you? Hello, up in Vancouver. Up in the land of Canada. Hope everything is kicking ass, taking names as always. I am working on the vastly complex issue of font sizes in Goland. So I just changed that, but then it's not bigger in the editor. Ooh, protobuf support? Sweet. Console, editor tabs. No. Appearance. Use custom font. Let's do 18 here. What's that do? Probably does some weird mutant shit. Oh look, it made the editor bits bigger. That's cool. The code's still small though. All right, we're gonna figure this out. Yet. Let's go with 20. And then, so that looks better in the editor, right? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the setting is for the code. Because I don't, I've been using these editors for so long, but I never really changed the font. Word settings. And it should be in the editor, right? To do case sensitive, text mate bundle, spelling, intentions, name it, copyright. What's the copyright do? Copyright profiles, formatting. Oh dear Lord. Oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't really want to mess with that either. So scopes, material custom theme. Maybe it is the theme. Let's go into contrast mode. What's that do for us? Nothing. Tabs, compact, features, active tab highlight color. Does that change things? I don't know about that either. So where is the freaking system settings? Nope, that's not what I want either. Appearance. We changed that. Okay, so that changed the theme in the editor, which is kind of cool. Presentation mode 24, also not what I needed. But let's go back in here. General, breadcrumbs. Oh, that's cool. Bottom, yeah, that's fine there. Completion, code folding. Said I wasn't going to get into the editor. Here we are. This stuff's always fun though, tweaking around with the editor. Postfix. Don't need that either. So it's got to be this font, but why is this not? It's not. I'm just getting better. Current editor font. Oh, color scheme font. Is that what we're in? So let's go 20 here. Oh, there we go. That fixed the code. That's super weird. Let's tweak this too. Let's do 1.2. Put the code back together closer. It can be friendlier with itself. So that is under editor, general, no, editor, color scheme. Okay, so then general, where did we go in? We went, oh, console font, console colors. Okay, that's log console. Oh, that's cool, console font. And then I wonder if there's a, oh, I went down to this. Oh, let's make this bigger too. Let's do 20. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, I'm totally gonna have to figure out how to save these things. Fortunately, they have JetBrains finally started having an option where you can upload your settings, so it's available across all your editors on whatever machines, which is cool. I hated having to actually worry about the configuration files themselves and move them between stuff. So is everybody happy with that font size that we have out there now? I think that covered everything. I mean, I could be wrong, but looks good. So console font, color scheme, editor. That's what I got to remember. Fallback font. Oh, I don't know fallback font. Oh, well, let's do Droid's mono just in case. Deja Vu Sans mono. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with that. That's cool. All right. Let's see here. Where? Oh, I figured since I was messing with that stuff, I was gonna mess with the editor again too. So let me get that situated back into the window properly. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Okay, so now that's the whole code window. How's that look, Bobby? Is that kick ass and stuff? You like that view? Detail me. I don't know. I've been needing to do that anyway, so why not do it on stream, right? It's good material to know too when you're sitting there coding all day long. You don't want to look at shit you can't see, right? I keep wondering when Adimitruk is going to do that too. I love trying to say Twitch names for people that I actually know. So yeah, I want to know when Adam's coming down too. Not 5 minutes before he gets here too. I seem to be pretty bad at managing my schedule sometimes though. Apologies. Adam knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, that looks way better. I can even see it now on my screen. I should take a screenshot and show you guys what I had before and what it is now. This is kind of beautiful actually, because I have it in a VM and I have it in this little bitty corner, and I was just hoping my eyes hold up for the next 50 billion minutes while I do this. But now I can actually see the bloody code and not have to squint. Like when y'all see me doing this, that was when I was trying to squint at the screen and the little bitty microscopic stuff. All right, I'm fixing one more thing while we're at this. Webcam's good. Main is not good. Oh, actually, let's I'm fixing my OBS. Since I broke down and took the time to do this, I am getting all of it. So there's my webcam screen. And, oh, now I fucked it up. Here, I'm going to show you my next screen in a second. I got to take out the webcam. The webcam has been removed. Then I need to fix my overlay. Here's my overlay. There we go. Now, yeah, now it looks right. Okay. And then I can go back to my goofy face in the corner. Oh, maybe not. Oh, shit. Yep, that broke it. Okay, I have to remove this one. Web source, and then... Okay, now it looks like this. Haha. Background web image. Oh, I don't have one. Damn it, no wonder. Background webcam image source. Oh, no webcam. Yeah, now I'm gonna blame y'all. This is y'all's fault. I'm over here taking forever doing this. Oh wait, that's the no webcam one. should be over here. Ah, I did it backwards, damn it. So now I have this again. Background image source. There we go. Now I fixed that one. And then the background one here is... Ha! Got it. Bloody hell. Oh, but what happened? Like the chat went away. Fuck. Chat should be there. Why is the chat not there? Anybody, somebody chat something for a second. Just say blah, 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 blah real quick. Oh man, OBS is seriously a unique flower. It's so trippy. I'm getting used to it more and more, but it's not a smooth transition from like screencast software and recording that way to this thing. Screen switch to it before. Oh, well you can use the studio mode because then you have a left right and you can transition. I got other videos in my channel too where I talk purely about this stuff. I don't know what happened to the stupid chat. It's pissing me off. There we go. I don't know what... Anyway. I fixed it. Whatever I did. It was super annoying though. So then I have super big screen too. Like that, and then this. I guess when I want to zoom in on stuff, I use these screens, and then of course I have my normal screen too. But anyway, where was that? All that little sidetrack. Whoops. Open up the screen. And then, did that just do not even... There we go. I think I messed it up. See, what I do is, to make sure that it fits in that box too, is I use a VM, and I had the VM set to a very specific resolution, but not just a specific resolution in the VM, but a resolution in the overall system, if that makes sense. I'll have to do another stream on it too. Yeah, I use OBS purely without any other bits. Even though I'm using Windows, don't throw nothing at me, for a little bit longer, and hate myself for it because it's so fucking busted. The cool thing is, it's forced me to go check out some of the other stuff that's Windows only, but I've figured out how to hack it so that it's not Windows only. And this is also thanks to Bobby, in large part, because we sat there and hacked through some of this stuff. Like, I went to Streamlabs, and Streamlabs is a website which gives you things like alerts and chat overlays and that kind of jazz, which is what's underneath the thing right here. The chat is an overlay from Streamlabs. It does like transparent backgrounds and that kind of jazz. So you can see it on the screen. I wanted to make sure that I had the chat there so people could see what they're talking about when we're looking at code and stuff. So that's a cool feature. And I wouldn't have looked at that at all unless I had known, well, one, Bobby looked at it, but then I was looking at their interface because they have OBS skinned, and it's really slick. It's a nice interface. But the huge problem is, oh yeah, C# Fritz has been going crazy. He's like just non-stop, Twitch stuff. I guess that's kind of his job now, it seems like. He's got a whole thing where he's like selling his hats and stuff, or pitching his hats or something. And he's been doing all sorts of hacks and whatever. But he's 100% Windows only and doing just C#. So like a lot of the stuff that he does is really cool, but doesn't work for me. Like I'm doing Go, I'm doing hardcore Docker stuff. I'm going to be doing all sorts of hardcore distributed database stuff. That just isn't going to work in a Windows environment. I mean, I'm going to fight the system more than I am getting anything done. So I'm saying that as I've just spent what 20 minutes fighting with the editor here. But anyway, gonna move that stuff to. Oh, he was doing a Mac. Yeah, he's doing a Mac, but he's still doing C# stuff on a Mac. And when he's doing something on like Linux, like Debian Linux, doing C#, deploying stuff via a container to like an actual cluster or something, then I'll be like, all right, now we've really gotten out of Microsoft land, or old school Microsoft land, legacy Microsoft land. But like I love a lot of the new spirit and attitude there, but there's still, I mean, you guys know for sure, uh, Windows land is Windows land. It still is. It's not anything different than what it was with Windows 2000, basically. Uh, yeah. What? Not this week. Yeah, I'm gonna love it then. I definitely am looking forward to your future sessions, and yours too, Adam. Uh, should be awesome sauce. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I love OBS too. And I realized like I just got more and more into every single little aspect of Twitch got me more and more hooked on the whole thing. And now that I'm starting to figure out how to hack like where I can do everything from my bike trips to my train trips to my whatever, uh, with video and like live stream that stuff from like multiple feeds and jazz the super cheap way. Because I mean, TV stations have done this shit for decades, but it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now you can figure out how to hack it and get it done with $300 or something. Like I've seen meetup setups that are beautiful streaming for like $300. Super cheap, super easy. Oh man, let's hear where are we at? So, oh, I did this, and I want to get this thing to spit out to an actual file instead of just spitting all the SVG into the editor. What did I do now? I broke something in the last 3 seconds. Oh yeah. So I started doing bar output result. It's going to be the string. So I guess I could start it that way. And then we're going to say output result. Then we're going to start with this bit. Like that. And then here, this, you can actually say output result, right? So then we're still printing out the same stuff. Oh, but then I got to do the formatting right. Oh, that's easy enough. Just do this, and then concatenate it in here like this. Boom. And then height. And then get rid of these values. That should fix it, right? Right? No? What am I doing? What's it fussing about? Invalid operation. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, untyped stuff. Oh, I just need to do string. This is really making us look at what it's actually doing. String convert int to alpha. And then one for height. String convert into alpha. Alpha. And height. There we go. Okay, so that'll be in the output result. Then here, instead of this, we can leave that format. Output result is going to be equal to output result plus this bit. Oh, I need to actually cut that out. Let's do it this way. So we'll do polygon points equal. Yeah, I definitely need to hook up my other camera and do a video of how I'm doing this. Because also I look into OBS to see if you guys are chatting at me too. And I don't really look at in the browser that much anymore. I used to look in the browser a lot, but that doesn't cut it. When is the CQRS meetup via Twitch, Adam? No, I don't think I tweet announced it. You didn't tweet announce it, or I didn't see it at least. Git stream, that'd be cool too. Actually, I find myself explaining Git stuff a lot, and it's something that should just be more readily available. Period, for people to learn, you know. But it's kind of not really. Let's see. We're gonna do AX plus this comma, right? Yeah. Then a y, and then the next line. Oh yeah, I need to do that stuff too. String. Every one of these needs converted to a string. Can I just do string this? It's not really the same type, so is that even? I don't think that's gonna work. So string convert. There we go. Oh, these are floating points though. Is it float to? Let's try that actually. We'll do AX. And actually we should convert that to a string. I mean, it's got to be converted to a string anyway. Golang convert float to string. Oh yeah, parse float. That's what I want to do. Parse float 64. Yeah. So this is going to be string convert. This function, good to just memorize everything in this function. AX 64 bit size plus that bit, and then we're going to do string convert parse float for the next bit, AY 64. There we go. All right, now put a plus on the tail end of that. We need 2, 3, 4 here because we'll do A. Whoa. B, C, D, and over here, B, C, D. Right? Yeah. Okay, now what is it fussing about now? Oh, and then this, and then let's do the close. This, and then slash in. And now what are we fussing about? So, invalid operation, output, result, polygon points, mismatch type string, float 64 error, more. AX isn't a string though, it's a float. Yeah, because I'm doing it here, corner. It returns the float 64, float 64. Yeah, so it returns the pair. And then to parse the float, which is AX, bit size 64. Can I not do it in this thing? let's see here. Let's do result just to see what it says. Unresolved reference result streamed in float 64 and returns an error. Single value context. Oh yeah, let me. Okay, y'all think about that float error for me for a second. I'm gonna fix the font size for the chat. Almost out of coffee. It's gotten cold. All right, so where's my... I need to add an alert box too. We'll get the font bigger here. Oh, where's the damn font setting? Oh, font size, 22 pixels. See what that does. What the foobar? Thanks. I'm glad it's useful. Is the font bigger? I can't tell if the font's bigger. Color is nothing. Text color is white. Let's actually make the text color slightly off color here. Let's go with this. I'm gonna make it that off color. And we'll make it 38 pixels. What's 38 pixels look like? Save settings. And then copy. Launch. I'm curious what that looks like now. Because I guess that zeroed out the chat. So y'all need to actually type something now to even see the chat. Lulz. And it should be giant. Should be, at least. Let's do box too. No, let's do Twitch. Flunky. Trying to figure out a cool way to do this. Boxed. There was a... hide common chat bots. Hide commands with the... Oh man. I don't know if I want to hide commands or not. I don't know how to do that. Frank faces emotes. Don't know what that is either. Chunky. I know there was some better ways to do the chats that looked rad. Let's stick with boxed for now. Okay, I don't know if that fixed what that fixed or anything. They look a little bit bigger, right? Noted. I'll ping you if I'm gonna put one of those together. I don't know when I'm gonna do that real soon though, because my current schedule is kind of booked up. So anyway, back to this code though. Let's see here. We got parse float errors. Invalid operation output result plus whatever equals. What am I missing? I'm missing something pretty straight up here, I'm pretty sure. So can I not do output result like this? I need to do... Maybe I need to do this. Yeah? No? No. It's not helping either. string float. So my conversion is messed up then, right? That's two results. Actually, let's change, let's make this easier. Let's do string. Why am I making this so hard on myself? This is super easy. We just do this, and then we say parse, string convert, parse float. We'll do SX 64-bit. And we'll say this is, what is this? This will be X result. There we go. And then we're going to do Y result. String convert, parse float, go. We'll do SY, 64-bit on that puppy too. X result, Y result. Type. So wait a second. So it's right parse. Oh, I'm not doing. Damn it. That's. Just swallow the error. It's going to be an actual float. So there we go. Okay. And now, as string, cannot use Y result as string. Why not? What's it return it as? F error. Parse booleans convert strings to. Oh shoot! I'm doing it backwards. Parse all these types. Float to append to float to string. Float to string. Format float string. Okay. Format float. That's what I need to do. Sometimes you get things stuck in your head and you just go down the wrong path, even though it's somewhat nutty. So then that, and then I need byte 60. No, wait, byte. I don't know. What do I need a byte for? Precision. Let's go with 8. What size int? Should I go with 8? Should it be more? Oh, that's the F. F is the format. So that. Okay. So that's cute. So now we have a format string in it. Smallest number of digits. Curious. Okay. So let's see here. F. Oh, this F. And then I think -1 will be okay. And then this should be F2, and then -1. There we go. All right. Okay, float. Boom. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay, now I'm using the thing that I thought I was using in the first place, but I just wasn't paying attention close enough. A very serious case of RTFM, please. So now this actually needs to be fixed, which we will do now. And we'll say, okay, there's our results. So then we can just do what? We can do AX plus, AY plus, we'll go down to the next line, and we'll do one for B, C, whoa, didn't want all that. Let's fix what we're copying here. B, C, D. B, C, and then dy, and then dx, cx, dx, and that should cover the bases there. I think we finally got it. All right, yeah. All right, so that prints that out, or that adds that to the output results. So at this point, if we collect all that stuff, we don't actually need to do that per line then, because it'll be all collected together. And then here, we could actually print out format, printf. Actually, we don't need to do all this print junk at all up here. We can just do it when it's all collected, so we can still see it at the console, right? So we'll just do output result, and then output result, and then on the inner loop, here on the inner loop, printing all that stuff, and we really just need to do the end, put the end bit on here. So output result equals output result plus the closing tag svg. There we go. Stop giving me too many damn quotes. There we go. SVG, and then output result. So now we just need to write that to the file. So if we run it with that refactor, okay, there's all the bits, all a gazillion of them. So now let's go in here. Let's do a commit actually. Commit. Refactored and created plus refactored the original code to print out via a collected string variable that we can also export to file. Reformat everything, clean it up. And we're going to commit that. There we go. And then just checking its status. We are still on the floating point examples branch. Cool. All right, with all that done, what is the option to export to a file? Let's look at that again. Golang write string to file. Should be super simple. Shouldn't be a complex thing we're trying to do here. We'll do IOUtil that thing basically. And we need to turn it. We need to do a byte array, and we'll do a check error too. I'm gonna snag that code and then refactor it in our code. So first off, the byte array is going to be our output result. And yes, it might seem weird at first glance. Like, why do you have to turn it into a byte array? Why do you have to do this stuff, right? Well, Go has the string above in a string set of memory, etc., and it can print it out to a console, it can print it out to that kind of stuff, but it needs to turn it into a byte array so that it can actually write the byte array to the file, because the IOUtil library writes a byte array, not a string object. If that makes sense, that's the technical reason of why it does this. But that's basically it. And then we have permissions, which is Linux, Unix-based file permissions, POSIX-based file permissions, right? 644, I think that's okay for just a text file. We'll find out very shortly. Something like 777 will give you execute rights, etc. We'll look at some of that a little bit later. Right now, we also just want to put it right here where we're at. So we're just going to call it, it's a good thing to call it, surface plot plot.svg. That's what we'll call it. And then we don't actually have the check error function, and we're not even going to do that. We'll talk about errors later. It's for a future session. But let's assign it to this so we get rid of the error there. We're just swallowing the error. By doing this underscore, that just swallows the error and lets us execute the function. And I think if we did get rid of that, yeah, if we hover over unhandled errors, so it should build and execute. And as long as we haven't caused an error with the data, we should get a file. So let's do a debug. I guess I could have just ran it because I just want the output of the file. Boom. And there we go. We now have a surface plot SVG file. Convert to PNG is a feature of Goland. We're going to do that. And then I did not even know that that was there. I guess it doesn't do anything though. Let's try to open that. There we go. Try to open it externally to fix format problem. That's an interesting dilemma. But we can see all of our stuff formatted here, and we can see just from the color coding that there is a problem though. So let's how do you get rid of this little thing? This should show a preview, but as you can see, that ain't the case. So in the results though, we have a problem. So it's underscore tag start is not closed. So what is not closed? Oh, there's our first point. Oh, we're not putting yeah, we're not putting a quote on the end. So let's go look at that. Yeah, we need to put this quote in place, I believe. Yes. Let's try that again. There we go. Oh, my mouse is being flaky. There we go. So it looks like we got our formatting correct here. Let's scroll down and see if we have the whole thing closed correctly though. SVG is closed. Polygon points. Just another, yeah. So let's see, we're going to do a code, background image, holding. Actually, on this file, let's do a code format. And that should space it out correctly. Might take a minute, that's a pretty big file. No knows, what's he doing?
Hits it over to Yukio. Yukio, a space that Cloud9 was closer to.
Is it working yet? Hope it didn't hang. Might have nuked the whole. Maybe I nuked my editor. Oh, that seems to be working. let's go look at that project while the editor attempts to figure out where it's at. Source, GitHub, Adrian, Learning Go episode 3. Let's try to click on this. Open with image viewer. What do we got? 1.6 megabytes. Oh, look at that. We got some bad math in there somewhere. Oh man. Let's go eyeball that and see what we got there. At least we know that the SVG is viewable. The editor is just flaky. Why is it not responding? Respond, darn it. See if we can just get another. Oh, update. I wonder if that'll kill it. Let me try to update it real quick. Oh, computers, you cracked me up. Put. How's it supposed to look like? Oh, here, let me actually show you. It's supposed to look like that based on the math. Oops, where am I at? There we go. So, you know, one of those little weird circle things, like a drop in the bucket, drop in a bucket of water kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Lulls indeed, right? Oh yeah, it just looks like a smeared, crapped out painting. Mine looks like Bob Ross's paintbrush. Well, yeah, that almost, I don't know, that's kind of what, oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so I'm guessing that I put some math in there wrong, and we updated that, but I can't get. Oh, I hate to do this, but oh, now I can't think of the thing. Kill Goland. Somebody's done that, right? Oh, that's not it. Whatever. I'm gonna do grep running service. What's the syntax for that? Oh, it's probably a giant list, but status all. Yeah, that'll. There we go. Oh, that's services. It's not active UI threads, I bet. Into show active resources task manager. What's that thing called? Yeah, those are definitely system services. Search. What's it called? Top. Oh, I guess I could do top. JetBrains. JetBrains 2434. 2434 and 2470. Oh, one's probably the other thing. Oh, it quit, actually. I'm over here screwing around and it's gone. Oh, and then I killed the toolbox. Derp. Yeah, okay. So that seems to be doing fine. And then I'm just going to start Goland from here again. I don't know what it did. I guess that plugin for SVG files just dorked up. I don't know about y'all, but Nyan Cat running across the screen, that's the happiest thing ever. Seriously. Love it. Need just like, all I need is a plugin. Oh, maybe that's something we'll build sometime. But a plugin that plays some badass brutal metal when Nyan Cat runs across the screen. That's what I should add. Now I'm scared to open it, but let's be hard-headed and open it anyway. Oh no, it froze again already. All right, whatever. We're going old school way then. We're just gonna do code. Oh, there it goes. It's actually trying to do it. Okay. And then it closes. Right. I actually would rather have Goland, so you open up, we're gonna close code for now. Probably use Visual Studio Code some little later. Right now we're gonna use Goland. And what I want to do is, we just want to look at that code and see if we can pinpoint some of the weird math. Because right now we got the Bob Ross math going on, like you pointed out. How do you say your hacker lead speak name? Ana Lopez? Juan Lopez? Juan Lopez? Maybe? Ah, okay. Then I was close. Juan Lopez, cool. That's smart, man. Mine's just Adrian. It's kind of boring. It's spelled weird, but it's been spelled weird in the family for like frickin' 600 years or something stupid. Oh, look at there. It's holy bananas. It opened it up in like some weird proper formatting. Let's actually look at it in the browser too. Cannot run program no such file or directory. Oh, that's, yeah, because we don't have Chrome, do we? Hey, we do have Chrome, but it's the, oh yeah, that's cool. Nice edit option. So Firefox. Maybe we'll add Opera and Chrome later when we actually are doing some web stuff. Right now, I just want to see this thing. Wait, what is this even? What the heck is going on? What is this? I don't need all that crap. Yeah, so the browser doesn't even see it. But we did go look at it. It had some crazy stuff going on. Let's look at the code. I'm going to actually get rid of the executable. It doesn't need to be sitting there being confusing. Delete. Delete anyway. There we go. All right, so this math looks like I plus 1 j, I and j plus 1. We always start from 0 to get from cell to cell corner to cell corner of the space. Width and height shouldn't matter because it's going to be, that's just the shape. It should do it accordingly, whatever. Then we have I, j plus 1, and then I plus 1, comma j plus 1. That should be correct for coordinates. So I'm betting I've got it flaked out down here somewhere. So x should be xy range times I divided by cells minus 0.5. So that moves it across the canvas appropriately. And then function is high xy. That's right. And then sign is math sign. Return the sign of that r. Float 64. All right, so we're doing that right. Oh, maybe I'm screwing it up with the precision. $12.50. Where online sells, it should be minus 0.5. Yeah, minus 0.5. Yeah, line 50 and 51 should be I divided by cells. I is of course converted to float 64 there. And then, so it's I divided by cells minus 0.5. That should be what it is. Should be, emphasis. All right, and then let's see here. X, Y. And then cosine is, let's see if I do X, XY, cosine, XY scale, sine 30, Z times scale. That's minus, plus divided by 2, height, width and height. Oh, this should be a minus. Yeah. Because otherwise it's just going over itself. Oh, that would explain why it looked like it was brushing from one side to the other for me. That might be the whole kit and caboodle there. All right, I'm gonna try that again. Looks like something. I mean, pretty mutant, but it looks like something still. Wow. Okay. So we can still see the spline going this way across the calculations that are then trying to draw from one side to the other. What else? Corner cell, XY, corner cell, IJ. So this is X and Y, I and J, and X and Y, X minus Y, X plus J. Right, and then cosine, XY scale, XY scale minus Z times Z scale, and Z is this. And then we return the X and Y result. X and Y. And it's returned in that order, right? X result, Y result, X result, Y result. Width and height. Right, yeah, the multiplying by 0.5 would have definitely nuked up some stuff. Oh, there's got to be something else. I still don't see what it is, though. I wonder. Oh, also let's do not gray. Let's do red. Something, right? Or maybe green? No, blue. Let's do blue. And stroke width is 0.7. Yeah, that's fine for now. Height and width. Where did I set height and width? I don't remember. Oh yeah, up here. So let's actually do 600 by 600 just for fun. Oh yeah, what are these? Did I get these numbers right? 100 is 30.0. Width divided by 2 divided by XY range is XY scale. Z scale is height times 0.4. Math pi divided by 6. Yeah, let's do that one. Close that. Oh, it updated. Shoot, I should have just left it up there. So that's going to look really weird. Like it hurt my eyes. So, Well, you can kind of see where it draws the lines a little bit better. It's some crazy triangles. So anyway, the math is off, but we created an SVG file. The SVG file is not particularly perfectly formatted, according to what it says there. But this is our beautiful artwork that we've made with Go today. Let me take a gander real quick and see where we're at with some other things. We'll probably work with that. We'll play around with isometric projection on a 2D plate, so to speak. Space. We'll look at that some more in the future with some other tweaks and stuff. But I just want to see some of the other stuff that I wanted to get into today. Let's look at that. Complex numbers. We really don't need to tackle that. There are some samples there. I think we'll actually get those next week. Booleans, strings. We've looked a lot at strings, how to cut out parts of strings, stuff like that. String littles. We may look at Unicode in the future, but we really need to start looking at some stuff here in the beginner. Untyped constants, composite types. Yeah, let's look at some constant generators. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna commit all this to this thing though. Actually delete this. Don't really need to go to the repo. Terminal, get status real quick. No, not it status, get status. There we go. Glad Bobby suggested switching the fonts. This is just, it looks better on the screen when it's a little bigger like that. It kind of fits into the box in a more seamless way. What was deleted? What link? We'll fiddle with the link in a minute. Whatever the link is, I'll put it up there if I deleted the link. But yeah, so let's see here. Get status. I guess, did I put this thing in there before? I guess I did. Oh, whoops, I wanted to look at the... So we're going to be putting this into floating point examples. I select that and hit Control K is my shortcut key to bring up the commit changes dialog. Oh, okay. So let's see. Change that to 600. I'm gonna leave it that way. Added. Let's see. Fixed. One error. But and even with existing error, this is a good example of writing a file concatenating strings into a string and additional conversion between types. I do wonder if my parse float is messing up the thing there. But we'll figure it out. Figure it out later. And I'm going to commit that and push it. Actually, let's look at the errors real quick. Warning: unhandled error. Oh yeah, of course this. So let's do this and handle the error, right? So we don't really do anything with it. Actually, we'll do this the proper way. So the proper way in Go to handle an error is you get the error, usually named ERR, and then say if error is not null, nil, then you do something with the error. Okay. So in this case, we'll format print and we'll say error. Just print it out. Pretty silly excess there. And we'll say error, like that. The other thing you can do is panic, error. Okay, so, but that's, you're just rethrowing the error. That's also not particularly effective. This way it at least prints out to the screen and we get to see what error occurred and then hope to fix it somehow easily. So there we go. That should give us no linting errors on the code this time. And we can get that committed. Yeah, Nyan Cat was happy that time. So there he goes. Running with it. And then, yes, let's push that. And we'll go out to GitHub. Let's see what we get. www GitHub. I see you're following me on GitHub too. Very cool. So you can see all the garbage that I always commit. I got a lot of repos. A lot of my work ends up in the repos. So some of it's good, some of it's just trash. Some of it's ancient. Forewarning. So here we got episode 3 and we got episode 2 from last week. We did a duplicate line finder and then we set up a broken build. So why was the build broken? Let's go back and look at that. And let's also, floating point example. So we got both those now. We got master, which is the README file that just tells you what these things are. And we can set those up as links. But let's edit that right here. Floating point. This is an example of writing, creating an SVG file and I don't want to stupid markdown. SVG file and writing the SVG file to the file system. All right, and then here I want to link both of these. To the respective branches. So let's do this. We'll get the link for the floating point example branch. Floating point examples. There we go. And then the int constant of float examples. There we go. And in that way, from the README, adding links to the specific branches. There we go. So now we can just click and go into the branch like that and see the actual code, which is a cool thing to do. Now in each of those branches also, I'm going to add a README. Get rid of that. And we'll say, oh, I don't remember what branch I just went into. Leave page. Oh, instant floats and blah, blah, blah. So let's get the description for that and say there we go. So what I'm basically going to do is just a little helper thing to do this and that, and then put this here. This code shows examples of this, and this, and this, and this, and such. Then we're going to have a return to master branch readme.md. That, which is a little user experience thing I like to do. We'll go back to this master, and we could link it to the README here, but since the README is going to be shown here, oh, actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's go back to the README, just like that, in the full link. There we go. So, and that's in that one. Added, link back to README.md. Then we need to get into floating point examples. See you later, Juan. I'm just doing this cleanup, then I'm going to commit it and call it a day anyway. So we've covered basically all the material that I'm going to cover for today. Hope you can join me next week, 10 a.m., same time, and we'll get into a lot more stuff. And then during the week, I'll be doing a lot of stuff too around databases, getting into Apache Cassandra and DataStax Enterprise, and tweaking around with some virtual machines and Docker a little later this week too. So hope to see you then. Cheers, man. And on that note, let's see here. Who can we actually raid next? Because yeah, I'm pretty much done with this code right now. You can see what I'm doing here. So raid. Who else is streaming at the moment? Take a look. We got, oh, I guess I should, oops. Faking it. Yeah, it looks like a great news article. I should log in here, because yeah, why not? This is very Inception. Oh, crap. Anyway, I guess let's see here. Maybe we should raid. Any suggestions? Any suggestions on who to raid? We could raid. Oh, let's raid Dev Chatter. Dev Chatter, Robert Tables. Maybe. What's Robert Tables into? Oh yeah, actually, let's raid Dev Chatter. He's working on a Vue.js app right now. Or is he not? It looks like he just went offline. Damn it to hell. Of course, right when we're about to raid, he disappears. Phooey. Oh, Rambling Geek. What's Rambling Geek doing? Looks like they're in their own. They're both in the same. We'll raid Robert Tables. So yeah, let's do that. All right, everybody. If you want to join, it'll be popping up in just a second. Oh, okay. How do you spell his nick? I think I got it. No, I don't. Oh, God, I can't type for shit. Oh, is Robert... Is he streaming me? Anyway. Okay, that's going to work. Robert Tables. There we go. Me and my one-person raid. 3 viewers raid. All right, cool. I'm glad some of y'all are joining me. So we're gonna raid now. The outro. 5,